Hey Ben,
Yeah.
can you explain in simple terms what a pro forma is?
A pro forma is a very complicated calculation of how a building financially works. It has all the inputs of how you're going to sell the product when you're finished with it. It has where you're going to get all the financing from, how the building operates financially. And it's really meant to help you get an understanding to make sure that your calculations are correct. If at the end of the day, if you can make the project sustainable, and if you're going to drive a profit in your development, that's a pro forma.
Would you ever consider doing a project without running pro forma?
No, definitely not. A lot of people, they get into trying to figure out a project on the back of an envelope or on a napkin, and that's probably something you can get away with if you're doing like a 1 or 2 family house.
Or maybe flipping?
Or maybe flipping something where you say, okay, I'm gonna buy this 400,000, I'm going to fix it for 50,000, and then I'll flip it for 300,000. That's easy math. And I've done projects like that. But when you're getting into complex projects like 70 units, 200 units, or a high rise, it's very complex and you have to make sure that the numbers align.
Or maybe even like a historic renovation?
Depending on how big it is, right? You really have to do the math on it really depends on the complexity of the project and how big it is. Some things it's too much to calculate. Sometimes I talk to people and they're like, oh, hey, how much money are you gonna make on that deal? How many units do you have? And blah, blah, blah. And we start getting into the conversation and then I'm like, we can't really get into the profit. We have to calculate this in a pro forma because there's so many things to calculate, like, interest rates, the cost of construction, the cost of all the soft cost that goes into it, architectural, engineering. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's so many items that go into a large project. This isn't, it's not something small. So a pro forma is the way to go. You need a pro forma.